Nashville In Harmony's upcoming Mapping Stars show is one of its most ambitious to date. Part of the concert features the U.S. premiere of Codebreaker about the life and work of Alan Turing. You may remember his story is told in the movie The Imitation Game. Take a look.
This war, we're not winning it. If you speak a word of what I'm about to show you, you will be executed for high treason.
It's beautiful. It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all communications.
Everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Let me try, and we'll know for sure.
Mr. Turing, do you know how many died because of it?
I don't.
3, while we've been having this conversation.
Gentlemen, meet Mr. Turing.
Were you to work together then? I'm afraid these men would only slow me down.
Popular at school, were you?
We're short on staff.
We get more staff then. You have 6 minutes to complete the task.
Is it even possible?
No, it takes me 8. 5 minutes and 34 seconds.
You said to do it in under 6. What is it that we're really doing?
We're going to break an unbreakable Nazi code and win the war.
And now, here to give us all the details on this must-see event, Nashville In Harmony's Don Schlosser. Always great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks again.
You guys, you just keep raising the bar. You just, keep taking on some of the most ambitious shows in the state, in the country.
This is very exciting to be a part of that. As the group has grown, they've not only grown in numbers, but we've grown in our artistic ability, and we've grown in our audience, and we've grown in our influence, and we've grown in our opportunity. And this show is about that opportunity that now has been laid at our feet.
It's just amazing. And you and I were talking about before the interview started, the fact that the Alan Turing story in The Imitation Game, nobody knew, or very few people I should say, knew who he was before that movie, and then you realize what an important historical figure of all time.
He really was.
Is.
And part of it may be because we're so American-centric that we didn't realize here's a very significant Brit in the history of British intelligence, and in the history of the computer, and in the history of LGBT equality. But we were not aware of the story until we saw it.
Right. And in a little we were also saying, kind of like the movie Hidden Figures this year, with the story about the 3 black women who did so much for NASA, and just, it's like so glad that they told those stories.
Right. And
now this, and I was telling you that seeing The Imitation Game and going, that's just a fascinating story, just such an inspiring story. I want more.
Right.
And basically, this is what you guys are going to do, just expound
exactly.
upon that.
And like you say with the Hidden Figures, this is the story that now must be told. It's a story that we all need to be aware of now, and we have an opportunity to do it in a very fresh way. The interesting thing about this project is, though, that McCarthy, the composer who created this, did not want to just do a biographical sketch or a timeline or tell his story from beginning to end, but he deliberately picks out some major things about Turing's life and about his work and about his personality to present them in an artistic way, to introduce us to him as a full person.
Okay, so tell me about this. One thing that is just groundbreaking is the fact this is the U.S. premiere. You guys are doing the U.S. premiere.
This is. James McCarthy created this work for a chorus similar to ours in Hertfordshire, England. They did the world premiere a couple of years ago, and some colleagues of ours heard about it, colleagues in Charlotte, North Carolina, who have a chorus similar to ours, and they asked us if we would partner with them and do the U.S. premiere of this groundbreaking work. Now, I understand there are other choruses who are already planning to perform it, but we got the jump on them, and we're going to be doing the U.S. premiere here in Nashville.
I mean, that is so exciting. I mean, that is major, not just the Nashville premiere, not just the Tennessee premiere.
No, this is
the U.S. premiere.
The U.S. premiere of a very major work.
Yeah. So kind of tell me, we were talking this show, and it's not just about Alan Turing and Codebreaker, so let's talk a little bit about the show as a whole.
Yes.
So
the concert that we'll be doing, which we call Mapping Stars, because it is more than just this one performance of this major project. It is a collaboration of several different groups. Nashville In Harmony, along with a chorus, a sister chorus, One Voice Charlotte, along with Kelly Corcoran, an intersection ensemble right here in Nashville, and along with the Temple, with Tracy Fishbein, the cantor there, teaming together to produce this major concert together. We'll be singing, One Voice Charlotte will be singing, Intersection Orchestra is going to do a wonderful new piece by Nico Muhly. And that piece was inspired by the work of Alan Turing as well. So there's a connection there, and then one of the things that Turing loved to do with his the man that he fell in love with, was to map the stars together. So we're calling this whole configuration mapping stars because it just coordinates in so many different ways with the universe. And then part of that is this premiere of Codebreaker.
So how did it come to be? So you had Codebreaker, you know, you had what you guys do with Nashville In Harmony, of course. How did it all come together?
It was really like the planets aligning, or the stars aligning. One Voice Charlotte approached us, would you like to do a project together in the spring of 2017? We said we'd love to do that. And then when we started looking at the project and seeing the resources that it would take to pull off something this epic, then we started thinking about an orchestra, and we approached Intersection Orchestra, and we were so grateful that Kelly was willing not only to be a part of what we were doing, but to collaborate with us so that we are co-presenters with this and working together on it. So they'll be doing this project by Nico Muhly. Together we'll be doing the project by McCarthy. And then about the same time, the Temple came to us and said, we would like to do some things together. We'd like to make our space available to you. What can we do? And we said, we have this coming up. Would you want to be a part of it? And it was just that kind of energy, turn after turn, that people got on board.
And Kelly's background with Intersection, she was also, before, she was with the Nashville Symphony.
With the Nashville Symphony. She was a conductor with the Nashville Symphony and now has left them and gone off on her own. A brilliant conductor.
Yeah. Now, okay, so you put the show together. You talked about One Voice from Charlotte. You guys are actually traveling to Charlotte to perform with them as well.
Yeah, we'll be going to Charlotte to perform with them, and they'll be putting on their own orchestra, and they're hiring their own soloist, and we'll be preparing it there. Doing a performance at the beginning of April, and then they'll be coming back here to join us after Easter on the 22nd and 23rd to present it here at the Nashville State Community College.
Which I love that too, because it's almost, you're seeing these choruses from around the country. I mean, you guys coming together. I mean, to me, this just spreads the goodwill and spreads the word.
It is about working together. Changing the world takes a small group of people working together to make it happen, and the collaborations that we're able to do with our sister organizations here in Nashville. And then as we broaden our influence, one of the things that Nashville In Harmony wants to do is, we call it the ripple effect, as we continue to broaden our influence farther and farther away out of Nashville and connect with organizations like ours that we can partner with in order to move equality forward.
Now, what's it like when you guys are getting ready for this show, as far as with Nashville In Harmony, you're at the rehearsals, what's the feeling in the room? Because you guys have done some amazing shows.
Yeah, this is really interesting. This show is particularly interesting because this show is a greater challenge artistically than anything we've ever undertaken before. The harmonic vocabulary, the rhythmic intensity, the extreme ranges, extreme dynamics, it's a major work of a caliber that we haven't done before. My assumption was that many of the singers would say, I'm not ready for this. I want to do something that's more fun, not necessarily so much challenging. The reality was just the opposite. When people heard the work, everybody in the room wanted to be a part of this, and so the level of interest, the level of engagement, the level of passion around this project is, if possible, even more intense than what our normal rehearsals are. People want to be a part of this. People see the significance that what we're doing matters deeply.
And when you are rehearsing a piece like that, are you feeling amongst your singers that it kind of elevates what they're doing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, elevates in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
First of all, we are calling them to a greater artistic challenge than what they've done before, and they're meeting that challenge. And as a part of the rehearsals, we're having independent choral workshops to work on the specific skills that we need in order to raise this bar. The other thing it is doing is raising the level of emotional involvement, so that literally during rehearsal, singers are in tears because of the lyrics, because of the intensity, because of the story, because of our opportunity to be involved in this experience. So it is really raising the bar in several different ways.
It's so exciting. I want to make sure that people know exactly when this is, how to get tickets. Full screen right there, Saturday, April 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Sunday, April 23rd at 3 p.m. This is Nashville In Harmony's Mapping Stars concert featuring, of course, Codebreaker. The Alan Turing story is in there. It's going to be at Nashville State Community College. And for your tickets, NashvilleInHarmony.org. Don't miss it. One of the most ambitious projects you've ever undertaken, and we can hardly wait to see it.
Yeah, it is absolutely the most ambitious thing we've ever done, but it's coming together beautifully.
It's going to. Can hardly wait for it. As always, Don Schlosser, and we can hardly wait to see Mapping Stars.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right. Well, that wraps this edition of Out and About today. We will see you next time. Good night. And don't forget, make plans to see Mapping Stars.